Hi, this is D13, and welcome to Thundertown. Alright, so we're going to start work today on the Thunderdome, a big gladiatorial-like arena. We're starting off with this amphitheater asset that I just showed what it was called on the workshop there. And I PO'd it, like always, and fiddled around maybe a little bit with the size, but it's pretty close to the original big amphitheater. And there you can see the 𝗪𝗧𝗘𝗧𝗧 that I had in there just as a placeholder. And right now I'm sort of trying to figure out how do I want to make this work. I want this to sort of be a live, functioning facility. So I got some of these cubes here, the ones that are basketball courts, and I put some in there, and you can see all the people coming out. So I let it run for a while, and so I put 3 basketball courts under here, maybe a 4th in the future. So this needed a little bit of infrastructure here, meaning I needed some roads underneath. The reason being is I'm going to be using some of these little parks that are little single-person seated park. And it needs road access underneath. Or I probably could have made it a park and just used park paths. In any case, I put these roads under here, and I just started messing around trying to figure out what roads I wanted to have under here. And ultimately, we end up back at this dirt road, and I just limit the types of vehicles and parking on them for now. So here I'm just taking these big train doors and making them bigger so that I'm putting them on the places where the roads enter underneath here. You saw a bus going through there, and it was because it needs to turn around, and there wasn't a good turnaround place. So I added that little turnaround on the right there and was able to stop the buses from driving inside underneath the arena here. And there's the name, Thunderdome. So this is where I was trying to figure out how to do the people in the stands. So I got these little park benches, and then that's the little park prop you saw on the screen there. That's that little seated person, and had them turned around. If you have them the wrong way, they'll sit down the wrong direction. So I worked quite a bit on repeating this over and over a few times and trying to add these little parks. In the final version of this, where I filled the whole stadium up, it's about 90% the prop people, and all the empty spaces have these little seated parks underneath them. And right now, the way the roads were, people were dropping through the middle. Well, this city needs lots of spikes, and I thought it's time to start really decorating the arena. So I started working on putting these big pillars in with the spikes and the flame things on top. At some point, I take the flames off because I was having trouble getting them to stay at the same height. They would just pop up in the air occasionally, so I took them out and put flags in here in the future. So here I'm manipulating the arena itself a little bit to extend this wall all the way to the edge of the concrete pillars. And I started putting in a raised walking path in here. And then it goes down into the arena underneath. So right now you can see, you saw some people walking by there. So this is where I'm working on the 𝗪𝗧𝗘𝗧𝗧. And I started with this planter, just a normal planter, and I scaled it really big. So I could have the edges of the dome area, the arena where people will fight lions and each other and things like that. And so the dome is really scaled down because this dome is so big that most of the entire center of the valley between the east and west gate fits inside the actual dome size. Now here we go with some pathways. I continued with those with pathways around the bottom here, and I'm using the Electrics road tools to add nodes where I'm going to want to have paths going up from the lower area to that flat ring that you see a person standing on up there. I came in with these blue barrels to mark where I was going to put the stairs going up in each of these areas. That way I was able to stretch this, put all the nodes directly on the spots where the barrels are. So I eventually take a barrel and I raise it up here once I get a path in, so I can mark where they're going to go up. So you can see the paths going up now. Some paths go all the way up to the top, and they don't really go anywhere at the top. It's really so that when I put some of those park people up there, they have a path they can go up. I do believe that they jump from even the raised paths over to the parks to sit down. It's not 100% certain about that, but I watched them for a while to see what the people were doing. Yeah, there we go. These are the paths that go all the way up to the top. Yeah, I really wanted this to be a mostly functional looking arena. I wanted it to simulate lots of people showing up when there's games going on, and just like the baseball and football stadiums do. Here we go, turning it all into the invisible paths. And I ran a path over here over towards the where the bus drops people off, so they'll come in from. There's two bus lines up here, one on the left side here, like behind the arena, and one from this open side of the arena. So here's why I took a big concrete piece and I turned it into a PO, and I'm trying to make it so that there's something that covers the path going all the way around. The first thing I got to do is I got to get it into a shape that I can copy and paste over and over. So it's usually like I get like 3 pieces, 4 pieces, and then I'll copy a big chunk of them over at a time and rotate them. So we can get this to go all the way around. On this near side here, I'm going to be putting some gates and sort of a staging area for gladiators and things like that in the arena. And you'll even see me come back and do some crazy stuff by building a chariot out of a camper and some other things. So here's where I'm actually adding the stairs. I've got this stairs prop that I PO'd, and I'm trying to get the color to match as close as possible. I still want it to be a little bit different than the other color, so it stands out a little bit. So I get it bigger here, and I sort of sink it down in, and oh, there's already a person using my stairs. Oh, 2 people. I'll let them go. So now that I've got these stairs, I can go place them all the way around the arena. This sort of helped me figure out how I wanted to break apart the sections of the stadium, as well as the, like where I'm going to put people going down underneath. Because normally there's like on these second level entrances, you'll see little doorways going underneath. And you see there's a barrel right there where I put a path going down, and there's a cube just below it, like on the road level of the basketball near these entrances. I got one of these little buildings, and I manipulated its shape, its size a little bit, and found these really cool sort of rusty doors, and I put them on all of the entrances. I think there's 4 entrances up on this level, and they all drop down. Oh, see, there's a game going on now. You can see how the people are sort of stopping at the bottom down there and going underneath. That was from a mistake I made by making the road a little too close to the front of the arena there, so it was too close to the path and they were connected. Eventually I disconnect all that and make sure that they aren't, disappearing underneath like that anymore. So here you go, little, not quite time lapse, but you're seeing the people popping in on one end of through one set of doors and going down into the other because there's no way to get from one side of this place to the other now without going above along that path. Okay, the champions. So I thought the arena probably needs big statues of the champions that have, that been the champions of the arena. So I got the Maximus statue from the Maximus steel factory. And I brought that in here, and I found these lions and some other really cool, crazy looking statues that people have done on the and put on the workshop. And I'm going to PO those all and shrink them down to all be about the same size and try to color them very similar in color. And then we're going to go around and place them around the outer edges of the arena. The Thunderdome. I like this one because it reminds me of the Hammering Man statue at the Seattle Art Museum. You can see here I've already finished the valley rework in the background, so you get to see all the PO'd giant stones that now are the cliff edge faces of all of the valley. Now it's just a matter of getting these pillars or these big stone blocks the right size and getting all of these statues on top of here to make them look right. So I changed the base, so I had to change it out for Maximus there. I like this one with the dead snake or something underneath him. So here I go, and I'm going to place these in here. I thought, well, I put it over here. Where am I going to put it over here? So eventually I tried to get them spaced out pretty evenly along this edge here, and I was trying to match their heights. And then I thought I need one more over here on the end, and I'm going to go back in there, and I'm going to put the lions on the other ones. Because this is an arena where you might fight lions, and there may be a lion that has taken out quite a few combatants. And you'd want to celebrate those lions. Especially when somebody finally did defeat that lion. So these when they PO'd, the base was really easy to get rid of, so it was really nice. And there's two different looks of lions, so I was able to have two different lions going around here. Eventually I come back and put more pillars in with more lions on them around the open side where I put in the gates, which I think you'll see in a future episode. Oh, spikes again. So this is where I was thinking, I want to get the height on these right, so I started using this ruler. This is a really cool asset. It allows you to figure out how high to make things. So I staggered these going up. You got 8, 9, and 10. I guess they're meters. So I got that one to match exactly the same as the across the way. Okay, now I can put my spikes back in here. So here you can start to see where we're at right about now. Actually, the red and black seats and other seats going around are going to be added in the upcoming episode. Next episode, Thunderdome, Part 2, Filling the Bleachers. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you'll like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Alright, so we're back for another post-credits bonus scene. So we're looking at the West Gate, the passenger train area, depot. Here's where I ran a road through this mountain cliff area and connected it up to the outside so that I can run a bus that comes out here to the depot. I was trying to figure out the roads how I might want to lay it out for when I start detailing the West Gate. So I grabbed this platform that I had built for the train depot elsewhere and stuck that in here. And now I'm trying to grab that station track. So I put the station track in here. I disconnect the station from the track, and that's the station track using 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, I believe. And this is trying to drop tons and tons of decals over the top of the rail track here. I come in and add my train corridor fence here, and I cut it open using the road tools, adding some nodes and deleting. So there's the depot. It's called the 𝗪𝗡𝗥𝗞𝗦𝗛𝗢𝗡𝗦 depot on the workshop. It's just a tiny little passenger depot. This was before I learned how to make some really custom stations using disconnected station tracks using PO'd buildings. Added some crossings here. And I set it to use my trains, and there's a bus pulling in. And that is all for now. See you next week.